All right, Sky Fox, at the culmination of a pursuit there. Apparently it was in Valley Village. I think, Stu, overhead, you caught just the tail end of it.
Michaela, we've been following this for just a couple of minutes. You know, it's slow, very slow moving, but right now, very tense moments. You can see officers with their weapons out. Those are not less than lethal. Those are weapons. And that stolen vehicle was in pursuit for quite a while. Very slow moving, very, very slow moving. And it was interesting because it gave us time to actually hear the officers in very calm voices talking about different ways they could bring this to an end. It was really interesting. This right now, we're on Vineland and Chandler, North Hollywood area, but you saw that live. I'm hoping right when you guys came to us, they did that pit maneuver to bring it to an end. That person inside that stolen vehicle, I would almost say messing with law enforcement, going very, very slow, stopping, waiting for a little bit, and then making these moves. Right now, though, it is very, very tense. You can see those officers, lots of weapons drawn, and one of the reasons why, just because you're just tuning in and listening, is during the very slow speeds, they had eyes on the driver making moves inside the vehicle, grabbing at things, digging around for things. So there's a possibility there might be a weapon involved. That's the reason why these officers on heightened alert. Again, you saw it live, that pit maneuver, bringing it to an end. Right now, more of a standoff out here in the North Hollywood area. This is Vineland and Chandler. These are big streets. They're going to be closed while this is going on. I'm Stu in Sky Fox. Michaela?
Okay, I think we're going to stay here. And again, just if, you know, we don't know how this can end. And given the fact that these are not non-lethal weapons, that they've actually, yeah, let's pull out a little bit because this could be kind of precarious in a situation like this. Did they have reason to believe this individual was armed, or they did not know, Stu?
Well, Michaela, what I was explaining earlier on is during that very slow speed pursuit, officers had eyes on that driver, and he was making unusual moves inside the vehicle, reaching around, digging through the back seat. So they were not sure of what he was looking for, and those were the reasons why there's that possibility that a weapon might be involved. That pit maneuver basically spun it around. He did make contact with that officer's vehicle, but that car was basically just rolling at that time. Right now, though, LAPD, we're listening to them. They're kind of just confronting this person. They're giving them orders to get out of the vehicle. You can clearly see driver not responding. It is pretty much right now more of a standoff, but like I said earlier on, very slow speeds. You know, it was topping out right about 20 miles an hour, so that gives you an idea. The driver stopping, letting the officers get out, you know, and then would wait, and then just randomly would drive off. That happened right before we went live. They basically were at the corner of Chandler and Vineland, and then he just started driving very slowly. One of the officers there did the pit maneuver, and that's what you see right here. Again, more of a standoff. You can see officers making the move to get to that driver maneuver. And that's what you see right here. Again, more of a standoff. You can see officers making the move to get to that driver. For them to do that would indicate that they have no reason to believe that this person is armed. You can see the door opening up, and now officers from LAPD helping that suspect out of that vehicle and taking him into custody. It seems to be, you know, possibly this might be more of a homeless type of situation. Maybe that vehicle was taken in that type of situation. But right now, that suspect in custody. So this will be wrapping up here in the North Hollywood area without incident as far as anybody being injured.
Yeah, no, your timing, you got to us live just as they were doing the pit maneuver. Incredible timing on Sky Fox's part. Again, if you're just tuning in here, Sky Fox has been over a slow speed pursuit culminating at Chandler and Vineland and Valley Village.